So you've got a big widescreen monitor and a lot of screen real estate, and you just hate resizing windows to maximize. I've got a tool for you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk About IT, or Let's Talk About It. My name is Matthew Hardman. Thanks for joining me again. I wanted to take a moment to show a lesser known tool that's actually available for Windows, which can really make your life a lot easier. And if you're lucky like me, you are blessed with the opportunity to have a widescreen monitor. And I've got a 34-inch widescreen monitor, which I bought from a company here in Singapore, which I use every day for work. We are spending a lot of time at home working, and we're switching between lots of different windows. We're trying to actually organize information in ways that are easily accessible to us. Now, Windows does come with some capabilities in terms of being able to dock different applications to the screen. And let me just show you what that actually looks like. It's pretty functional, right? You can go ahead and actually grab an application. So something like Excel here. If I move this around, of course, I can go ahead and actually position. I can go ahead and actually resize. You know all that, how that works. I can bring up another window and sort of have that resized. And if I wanted to have these windows side by side and fill up the screen, then it's a very easy case of being able to grab that window, drag it across, and as you see me do that, you see it expand out into the space. And then it tells me the other windows, so you can see my recording software and my to-do list. If I click on the to-do list, it fills up the other side. So what I'm able to do here is kind of maximize the entire environment. Now, the tool, PowerToys, actually gives you a way to take this to the next level and to really be able to go ahead and actually customize this. Because while this is great, it really just gives me two kind of options, and I want a little bit more flexibility in the way that my my applications are essentially docked. So let's go back here. Let's bring this back, and we'll bring up a browser, and I want to show you where you go ahead and actually get the PowerToys from. So I'll type in here Microsoft PowerToys, and if we go down to the second link, and I'm using Bing again, Microsoft PowerToys, what this shows you is all of these different utilities which are available for you to use inside Windows. So we've got Color Picker and Fancy Zones and File Explorer and Image Resizer. Lots of these different little utilities which are incredibly powerful when you don't realize that they can be used. Like sometimes you're looking for, you want to capture a certain color you saw and you want to be able to reuse that. Well, the Color Picker is a tool which just lets you go and pick on a color and then copy that and use it straight away. You've got Image Resizers, Keyboard Manager. If I want to see the shortcuts on my keyboard, I can hold down Windows key and I see the shortcuts pop up, right? Just so much more simpler to try and actually find things. We've even got renaming guides and things like that. The one I'm really keen on is this is Fancy Zones. So how do we get this set up? Well, if we go to install PowerToys, it's simply a case of being able to go to the GitHub release page. So if I click the Visit Microsoft GitHub release, and then down here to the release, it's simply a case of clicking the application, downloading it, and running it, right? And so once it's run, you're able to actually set up and utilize these PowerToys. Now the PowerToys themselves sits inside your system tray. So if I go down here to my system tray, you can see this little one here. I appreciate it's probably very small. If I click on this, what we get here are the PowerToys settings. And so the PowerToys settings let me go through all those different applications or different utilities to be able to use. Like I said, there's Color Picker, there's Fancy Zones, which is really what we're going to talk about. There's Keyboard Manager, Power Rename, right, for batch renaming different things. Let me show you Color Picker for a second. It's kind of cool. For Color Picker, you use Windows Shift plus C, so Windows Shift plus C, and then what you get is this little color picker, and you can actually see the actual hex values for those colors. Now, what's great about this is once I find a color I like, I can just hover on that and click on it, and I can see the hex, the RGB, the HSL. I can even start to go through and say, well, I need it a little bit darker, so I can click on that color. And if I really want to finely tune the editing, I can click on that and actually play with the values. And once I've got that, I can then take that and put it into, say, PowerPoint or something like that to have that color. But as I said, that's kind of cool. What I do want to show you is fancy zones. I think fancy zones is very, very cool. What fancy zones lets you do is choose a window, hold Shift key, and drag it to a zone to dock. Okay, so if I go here to the Launch Layout Editor, you can actually see these different layouts which come as a default, right? So if I look at doing, let's say, columns, right, and click on that, you can see behind the 3 screens that are actually there. In fact, this is quite good for a widescreen layout. So if I just leave that as is and close this, and let's bring up our Excel and our to-do list again. This time, instead of just dragging it to the side, what I'm going to do is hold down Shift and drag. And when I do that, you can see the actual layout zones come up. So I can drag the Excel to the left, and then to do, I can drag to the right. And if I wanted another one, which might be, say, let's just throw up Twitter, for example, I could go through here and shift click that into the middle. Very, very easy way to be able to go and actually have my applications running side by side. And I don't need to worry so much about, how they're laid out. They just fit into their windows. Now, a layout that I personally love is actually having a big focus one and something on the side. And I do this a lot for having Outlook on one side and the calendar on the other side, or if I am having a Teams meeting on one side and I'm taking notes on the other side. I love to do it like this. So what I typically do in fancy zones, and I created this one for myself, was created a zone editor of a custom layout, right? So one main window, one side window. So again, let's go through and just close it off. This time here, we'll bring this one out. We'll bring our to-do list out. And so I'll grab it, hold Shift, bang, that's my main window, my side window on the side there, and perfect layout straight away every single time. Now, you can actually create your own layouts as well very, very easily. There's a nice editor in here that helps you to split up the different zones the way you want. So we'll go back down here to our window again, go into fancy zones and into the editor, and we're going to create a new layout. So we'll call this one Matt's layout. And you see there's 2 types. There's grid and there's canvas. So you can actually have layouts dropped on top of each other, or you can have grid. I personally like grid, so I'm going to go with grid. And what you can actually see here is how I can design this, right? So if I want to go and actually create more windows, I literally click where I actually want, or if I want to delete or do things like that, I can actually click and drag across zones, right? So I can drag this across and merge these 2 together, right? So I've got my 2 there. I might want to make this a half one. So let's just go and make this 2 windows here. And if I was really, really kind of ambitious, let's do another one there like that. So what we see now is I have one main, and then on the side I actually have 3 more windows. Now this will be fairly complicated layout, but if we give that a go now, and I'm going to go back to my Excel, right? Again, if I hold down Shift, I can see those windows, right? My to-do, I'm going to actually put this on the side here, right? And then maybe one of the things I might need is calculator, right? And then hit Shift and that goes there. And if I wanted one more, maybe my Twitter, hit Shift, and then that's sitting there as well. So I really have this brilliant flexibility to be able to design the actual windows the way I want to be able to maximize my screen real estate. So that's all I wanted to show you today. So don't forget, you want to check out the Power Toys So if you go to your search engine, put in Microsoft Power Toys, and then look for the Power Toys site, which is at docs.microsoft.com, en-us/windows/Power Toys, you can have a lot of fun. I hope this has been useful and helps you with your screen real estate. Thank you.